I just go fast and just scare them to death.
Yeah. Cool. First of all, join Lewis Hamilton.
How you going, man?
All good. Thank you for joining me.
Pleasure.
So a little bit of background, do the racing stuff, moved into the social media world, was a little bit different, but it's an amazing year so far for you. I mean,
this has been,
what a year.
I just was not expecting it to be as, I think you enter a season, we honestly thought we were going to be a lot slower than, or not a lot slower, but we thought Ferrari was going to be quickest from testing. We couldn't match their times, and then the last day we were right with them, but we thought it was going to be tough, and then, we arrived at the first race and we were on the front row, and then we've had, them went to Bahrain, and obviously they're ahead of us in Bahrain, so we've had this maneuver, this kind of up and downs, but it's generally it's been the strongest season we've had.
It's been,
So, but then we get into the second half of the season, and maintaining that consistency it's so hard in this next period because you got all these long flights, all the long hauls. It's going to be a real challenge.
A lot of travelling.
Yeah, a lot of travelling. So it's the period of time where you really get most exhausted in the second half. You're away from family the whole time. You're always on a plane. You're always in a hotel in these cities to get over the jet lag and all that. So it's going to be painful this next half. So.
But good tracks as well coming up.
Great tracks.
Yeah.
Suzuka is incredible. Where else we got? Obviously we got Singapore, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome to drive.
At night.
But it just goes on forever. The lap is the longest lap ever. And then Brazil is fantastic. Austin, Texas is incredible. And then Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Amazing. So how did you find it? Like, obviously, yourself and Petronas, it's like an amazing relationship which has been going on, winning relationship.
Yeah.
What do you feel gives you the edge? How's the working relationship been?
I think it's really so when I joined the team in 2013, it was really quite impressive to see their approach. I mean, Malaysians, I think, in general, are very, very calm, very just kind, humble people. They're very, very warm, super easy to work with, but also very super driven, but also realistic in their drive. They're not like they don't boast about their success. I think they want to continue to grow as a company and slowly work their way up the ladder, but they're not like, we're going to be number one in 6 months. They're really kind of, and anyways, working with them has been, they're incredibly efficient in terms of wanting to advance their technology and be the best, and so they listen and they communicate, which is great.
That's the best part. And obviously, from you starting in all the junior formulas going out, sponsorship, a lot of drivers will probably watch and think, how do you get sponsorship? And for me, my surname's Hamilton, so it's always Hamilton. What? You're the wrong one. So I did my thing. But what advice would you give to people, coming up in junior formulas, trying to get sponsorship? How do you? I
didn't go out and get, as a kid, I was doing the racing side of things, and my dad was the one that was going out and getting working on the sponsorship, which was so hard to get to, as you know. Convincing somebody to invest £10,000 into a young karter with no guarantees you're ever going to get it back, for example, and what you're going to get from it, because in karting there's not any it's not televised.
Right.
So it was very, very difficult, and I think I don't know, I think today ultimately results really speak for themselves. So I think if I was to advise families and kids, they've got to continue to work together, and my dad did the big job there. I would arrive on the track and deliver, and he would deliver in terms of his how he performed in terms of going and speaking to these different companies, and also just not being shy to ask.
Yeah.
We've
all had to do it.
Yeah. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah.
And you have to be a hunter. You literally have to hunt for it. So but I don't know, honestly. It's so long ago. So now I do partnerships with people, but they come to me, so it's different,
They look,
So it's different.
I think it's getting more and more expensive as well, which is making it harder.
Yeah, and that bothers me, if I'm really honest, because it was already my family was flat broke after every time they kept investing and remortgaging the house for us to race.
Yeah, it's really, when I was doing Formula Renault, the next step was Formula 3.
Yeah.
And I remember Formula 3 is £1 million for the year.
Yeah.
Just to go to get your seat and have your seat.
It's insane.
I
think for me, my time, I was in Formula 3 in 2004, 2005, I think it was, and I think then it was, almost $250,000.
Yeah.
So it's gone up. It goes up every year. Now
I know, more and more and more.
In Formula 2 is like over 2 million. It's just crazy.
It's a lot of money.
It is.
Going on from the F3 time, was that one of your favourite parts of racing, Formula 3? Was that like the time when it was like the battles and Macau?
No, karting was my favourite period.
Yeah.
Karting was by far the best.
You reckon?
Karting was incredible. And I was racing here in Italy. We went to Portugal. We had Braga. It had so much grip. Getting around the corner, you could barely, the strength you needed to hold onto the wheel with the amount of rubber we had back then. Those were my favourite days, man, the karting days. And then when you get to cars, you have less testing. It's more costly when you make mistakes. In the race weekends, like in Formula Renault and that, you don't get a huge amount of running. There's no heats, so it was less fun, I would say. But it's cool driving a big car, but it was real business. Formula 3 was awesome. That was one of my favorite cars in 2004 and 5. The car was incredible.
The Euro Series, right?
I did the British Championship, and then I did do Macau, and I think it's Korea. In the first year, and then the second year I did the European season series or the Euro Series.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And that was quite cool just to go to these different tracks and then get to drive on tracks which the Grand Prix were on.
Yeah.
So getting to perform in front of the Grand Prix teams.
And you're there like, now it's time.
Yeah, and honestly at the time I didn't realise they were watching, but obviously I'm in it now. All the bosses are watching.
They are, yeah.
Looking for the youngsters, yeah.
And how do you find now, obviously social media, obviously this is my world now in terms of what I've made a living from it. How do you now feel being an F1 driver with social media? Do you think it's now, obviously it's bigger than it's ever been before? Is that something you're always thinking about, social media, looking after your Instagram and stuff like that? And,
it's honestly a real challenge and something I can't say that I don't personally feel like we do it the best. There's obviously so many platforms, isn't there? So first, we were Facebook and Twitter, then it moved over to Instagram, and that honestly the Instagram is the one that's been that's continued to rise mostly, but trying to find a real balance. I think at the beginning, you see people who are just constantly on their phones all day long filming, and then so I was always I've been battling myself whether I don't want to do too much but don't want to do too little. How much do you show, how much don't you show, because the media follow you also, so it's a media outlet, so you've just got to finding the right balance is always really difficult. And then also I got to a point where I'm like, I don't want to just keep posting stuff for the sake of posting stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So I realize in actual fact now the voice is, we all have a voice, and the platform is really serious, a real serious, powerful tool. So I generally am really trying to make sure that if I am posting something, I'm posting something worth posting, rather than just a picture of me in the bathroom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're trying to educate as well.
Trying to find that balance, but I need to do more. I need to figure out. I don't do a blog, but I'm sure you can give me advice on the YouTube and stuff.
No, it's fine. I'm sure you'd be. But yeah, it's totally different. YouTube as well. Again, it's just totally different.
I just don't think I'm really great with just gaining all the content stuff. I've got people who do it for a living also. Like King Batch and those guys are just every day. They're filming every day. And me
coming up with the ideas, I'm like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, it must be so hard, and it's such a competitive market, as you know.
Yeah.
But I just don't even have the time, man.
Yeah, you're busy enough.
So
you can't get out of an F1 car and then get out of a vlogging camera.
No, it's hard. Sometimes at the end of the race there'll be one of the guys that we work with who will remind me and who'll give me the camera, the phone, and I'll be in the pen at the end if we've finished on the podium, and then I do like a little video, but I'll forget most of the time.
Yeah,
it's mine's so occupied.
So much going on already.
Yeah, so it's like you have to work with a team who can help.
Yeah.
Cover things, because also the things happen that you would definitely miss, photo ops that you would definitely miss when you meet some incredible people that you meet along the way, and so it's always good to have a team of people with you.
Yeah, 100%. And you're massively into your bikes?
Yeah, I've always loved I actually wanted to race bikes before I go-kart. I wanted a motocross bike. I don't even know why, because I can't remember seeing it on I wasn't watching motorbikes. I just love bikes.
Yeah.
I think
MotoGP.
No, I never even saw any of those motorbikes when I was young. I think it was a motocross bike. I think I saw it a friend had one, and that was what I wanted. But my dad was like, it's too dangerous. Got me a go-kart, and I was into cars anyway, so I loved cars. I watched Formula One, but then eventually, when I could afford it, I bought myself a motocross bike.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have a go on this.
As soon as I got some money, I bought myself a motocross bike. So I have that, but I also ride mostly now on the road.
Really?
So I have a road bike, but I do track days now.
Do you enjoy it?
I love it so
really?
much, yeah.
How different is it?
Well, I generally don't like testing, so like I don't like going to like an F1 test, which people might think is crazy. I don't enjoy.
No, it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, like give me 10 laps and then put someone else in.
Yeah.
But on the bike, I enjoy it all day because you're advancing all the time.
Yeah.
They're bigger steps. I like the fact that when I'm on the bike, it's bigger steps. You know, I've got seconds to find.
Yeah.
So the steps are huge. As when I'm in the car, if I'm testing, I'm fighting between thousandths of a second, you know, and it's not really. I like on the race when I'm finding those thousandths of a second, because you have to be so technical and on point. But in practice, you're not competing with anyone.
You're just having fun.
Yeah, but when I've been doing the track days, I've got like a few friends that we go with. It's like 5 or 6 of us, and we're all like
so fun.
Kind of competing in time. Well, they don't get close to my times, but I'm trying to compete with the people who are who are pros at the track, who do it all the time. So I've only done I think 3 or 4 days on the track so far.
Because a friend of mine does the Isle of Man TT.
That's nuts.
He came second in it, and I was like, fair play, because that is nuts.
I think that is one of the most insane things you can do.
Yeah. I could listen to stories all day.
It's just. I mean, I admire them, but I think you got to have a screw loose to try to do that one.
You don't.
The speeds they go, and there's literally someone's patio, you know, like front porch, you know, the brick wall at the front of their garden.
Yeah, it's just gone.
And a curb.
He actually told me, you know, when you go over the bump,
And it lifts.
and it lifts. I said, what are you thinking at that point? And he said, I'm already 10 corners ahead. I didn't feel that. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, well, I understand that because that's how we are. Like even when we're racing,
for those big wobbles, you're like.
Yeah, but they do it like they're doing 180 miles an hour, whatever it is, and the thing wheelies. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. Not for me.
No, I don't want to do that either.
But also, you have I saw that a vegan restaurant, burger.
Yeah,
is something you're involved with.
Yeah, just part owner of a new restaurant chain that we're starting.
Amazing.
So it's all vegan. It's amazing. I've been there I went for like a food tasting. So they went somewhere and the chef came and cooked for me. The food was so good. And since then, I've been literally so excited to go back, but I missed the opening because I was at the last race.
Yeah.
But later next week, I'm going to go. I've got to probably starve myself the day before or the next couple of days before, so I can have 3 burgers.
I'm going to check. I'm definitely going to check that one out in London.
Yeah,
because 100%.
It's had such a great response, you know, and I love that it's just so ethical, you know, and it's really, really, really important. I think in the world today, sustainability is such a key issue, and I think that is a part of it. So.
Because you're passionate about that side, and I think that's amazing what you're doing in terms of using your Instagram as well to show people, and that's like you say, it's a message.
Yeah, bit by bit, you can persuade people into the right direction.
100%.
It's because there's only benefits from it, in your personal life, but also for the world. So.
Yeah, 100%. Driving test. Did you pass it first time?
I did. Yes. Freaking heck. But I was nervous as hell because I had 3 lessons? I think I'd had 3 lessons, and I'm a very visual person, so if I used to sit and watch my dad drive in the back seat, and the first day I got in a car I could drive. Yeah. So often I can see, I've never read a manual of anything, you know, I watch someone do it and then often can do it. But yeah, I remember doing my test, a couple of lessons. I did 1 lesson in Cambridge, because I was going to college in Cambridge. And then I did, I think 1-2 lessons in my town, and then I couldn't get the test they couldn't get a slot to do my test in where I grew up, where I knew the roads, for like, it was like 4 months or something. I was like, I have a car, I want to drive.
Yeah.
So I found one in Essex. So I got on the train, went all the way to Essex, didn't know the roads, and it was definitely nerve-wracking. And I think I got like I can't remember, you get strikes, don't you?
Yeah, you get minors and a major, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got major.
Well, no, you didn't, then you would have failed. You got minors.
Really?
You would have got a minor. Yeah, because
Okay.
the funny thing is, because with racing, I had the same thing with me. All your friends say as a racing driver, you must have passed first time. It's actually not easy.
No, I think for anyone, I remember when I was pulling away, my leg was shaking so much, I was like, I'm going to kangaroo off here.
And then that is
so funny.
And at that point, that is a major.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not that easy.
And being in an environment in a town that I didn't know the speed limits, all these things, and it was hard, man.
It's not that easy.
Now I could, if I had to go do it again, it would be easy for me, because the guy next to me would be like, oh yes.
Yeah, that is actually a YouTube video if that happens, because to see his reaction, you jump in and he's like, what?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And quite cool. I just go fast and just scare them to death.
Yeah. And disable his controls, so
Yeah.
he just has to sit there. And this year, you potentially could get the most wins in a Formula One season ever in 1 year.
What? I don't even know what.
13, I
Oh,
believe.
jeez.
But you don't think of that, do you? Do you just
No.
you just think of race by race,
One at a time.
and then you don't.
Yeah,
You're not,
I mean,
you're
honestly,
not
I
a
didn't
guy
think.
that chases the next record.
No,
in
I
terms
don't.
of- yeah.
I've never ever chased records.
Yeah.
I've just never been one to really care about them. But it's
Yeah.
cool when people bring it up and like, oh, you have that record.
Yeah.
It's like, but it doesn't really mean anything to me, to be
No,
honest.
yeah.
But well, this first half of the season is the most I've ever had in the first half. I think the most I've won is 10 in the season, so 10 or 11 or something like that. So I think Vettel had 13 or Michael had 13 or something.
That is it.
That's
yeah.
very good.
So
That is a
14,
lot of
14.
wins, man.
Yeah. It's possible. Yeah.
It just I've not looked that far ahead.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope that I get some more wins. Jeez.
Yeah.
We've got good races coming up, but like this race, for example, in Monza, it's going to be hard to win this one.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to win this one. Just like the last one. I think they just could be so far ahead.
Is that just straight line speed, or is it?
Yeah, they're just too quick in a straight line at the moment. And we've got a car with us really great through the corner. So in the middle sector of the last race, so in Spa, I was quicker than them, and then they were quicker on the straight. So you could get close, but then they pull away. So
I saw that.
and this one's going to be similar. So it'll be interesting. But then they struggle to look after their tyres as well as we do. So
in the last race, I saw it especially. You were just catching, get another few laps, and
yeah, probably at least another 2 laps. 1 or 2 laps, we would have had him. But
these young guns are.
Yeah, they're freaking quick.
Yeah.
They're quick.
But it's amazing, and fingers crossed another few world titles in there.
Few, again, just one at a time, man. Jeez, it's hard enough to get the one.
Yeah,
man. So
I mean, it's incredible what you've done. I mean, honestly.
I think if you look at it like that, you get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
So literally, just every time I've won a championship, I'll be like, wow. And if you look at a lot of drivers that don't have it, they've never had a championship. And then secondly, some that do have the one but never get another. So you just have to be grateful for the ones you do have. So every time I'm like, I hope that I'm going to work towards getting more or winning another. But if I don't, I've got to be content with the fact that I've had more than some would ever even experience.
Yeah.
But of course, I'm striving to achieve more. And so my mind's set on getting the next championship.
Yeah, which I'm sure you will do. And
well, nothing's ever a given,
No,
so
of course.
there's so much work. People turn on to the weekend and watch the Grand Prix, and you see 20 people in the pit lane that do our stop, but with no real comprehension of just how much is going on in the backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because they don't go and film the factory and show you how many people, because it's all top secret.
Hundreds of people working there.
No, there's nearly 2,000 people in my team.
Thousands of people working there.
To make make 2 cars,
Yeah.
And then at the track we've got like 100 people, and
Yeah.
from our security at the track to make sure no one's coming in, from
Yeah.
our data analysis to to the lubricants. We've got the lubricants lab.
Yeah. I'm going to go and visit there.
Yeah, our catering, for example, who make sure that we're all healthy and we're all making sure that we're drinking, hydrate through the weekend. It's a whole team movement.
The different people. There's a lot that people don't see, and I think behind the scenes it's crazy.
It's impressive.
Well, good luck for the year and
Thank
what's
you,
coming
man.
up. You're an inspiration to many people, and lovely to meet you.
And you, man.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers.